Ready? Okay, load up. Time is yours.
Lesson 56. What do they usually do? She does the chores every. What do they usually do? She makes the bed every morning. In the morning. What do they usually do? He shaves in the morning. What do they usually do? They usually listen to music in the evening. What do they usually do?
Sally, dia tidak
He
merokok.
cleans the board in the evening. What do they usually do? They go to bed at night. What do they usually do? She washes the dishes in the afternoon. What do they usually do? They usually type every day. What does it usually do? It drinks milk every day. What do they usually do? They usually watch TV every day. What does she usually do? She eats at home in the afternoon.
Selalu
What do they usually
di
do?
rumah. Mereka tidak makan di
He
kafe.
reads the
They don't.
newspaper every day.
Don't eat.
Lesson
Makan apa bahasa
57.
Inggrisnya?
It is 8 o'clock. The children go to school by car every day, but today they are going to school on foot. It is 10 o'clock. Mrs. Sawyers usually stays at home in the morning, but this morning she is going to the shops. It is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Mrs. Sawyer usually drinks tea in the living room, but this afternoon she is drinking tea in the garden. It is 6 o'clock in the evening. The children usually do their homework, but this evening they are not doing their homework at the moment. They are playing in the garden. It is 9 o'clock. Mr. Sawyer usually reads his newspaper at night, but he is not reading his newspaper tonight. At the moment, he is reading an interesting book. Lesson 58. What's the time? It's 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
What's the time? It's 2 o'clock. What's the time? It's 3 o'clock. What's the time? It's 4 o'clock. What's the time? It's 5 o'clock. What's the time? It's 6 o'clock. What's the time? It's 7 o'clock. What's the time? It's 8 o'clock. What's the time? It's 9 o'clock. What's the time? It's 10 o'clock. What's the time? It's 11 o'clock. What's the time? It's 12 o'clock. They usually stay at 7 o'clock every day, but today he is shaving at 8
Kami
o'clock.
adalah penulis yang hati-hati. Dia tidak membuat
She usually drinks tea in the morning, but
I'm lazy, saya kutu. Saya tidak.
this morning she is drinking coffee. They usually play in the garden in the afternoon, but this afternoon they are swimming. I usually cook a meal in the evening, but this evening I am reading a book. We usually watch television at night, but tonight we are listening to music.
Put on.
Lesson 59. I want some envelopes, please. Do you want the large size or the small size? The large size, please. Have you any writing paper? Yes, we have. I haven't any small pads. I only have large ones. Do you want a pad? Yes, please. And I want some black ink and some glue. a bottle of ink, and a bottle of glue. And I want a large box of chalk too. I only have small boxes. Do you want one? No, thank you. Is that all? That's all, thank you. What else do you want? I want my change. Lesson 60. What's the time? It's 1 o'clock. What's the time? It's 2 o'clock.
Di dalam
What's the
saya
time?
suara tak
It's
masuk.
3 o'clock. What's the
Bertanya
time?
sambil
It's
saja.
4 o'clock. What's the time? It's 5 o'clock. What's the time? It's 6 o'clock. What's the time? It's 7 o'clock. What's the time? It's 8 o'clock. What's the time? It's 9 o'clock. What's the time? It's 10 o'clock. What's the time? It's 11 o'clock. What's the time? It's 12 o'clock. Have you any cheese? Have you any butter? Have you any eggs? Have you any jam? Have you any honey? Have you any bread? Have you any biscuits? Have you any potatoes? Have you any tomatoes? Have you any peas? Have you any beans? Have you any cabbages? Have you any lettuces? Have you any bananas? Have
Do
you
you
any
speak Chinese?
grapes? Have
Do
you
you
any
speak
peaches?
Chinese?
Have you any steak? Have you any meat? Have you any chicken? Have you any whiskey? Have you any beer? Have you any wine? Have you any
No,
tobacco?
I don't.
Have you any soap?
No, I don't.
Lesson 61. Where's Jimmy? He's in bed. What's the matter with
Das
him?
Eis.
Well, he looks ill. We must. Yes, we must. Can you remember the doctor's telephone number? Yes, it's 09754. Open your mouth, Jimmy. Show me your tongue. Say, what's the matter with him, doctor? He has a bad cold, Mr. Williams, so he must stay in bed for a week. That's good news for
Das
Jimmy.
beda. Ini
Good
das.
news? Why? Because he doesn't like
Das
school.
apaan?
Lesson
Unspeak
67.
ini.
What's the matter with
Unspeak
him?
bilang S-nya.
She has
Jika
a
dia
headache.
das an.
What's the matter with her? She has a headache. What must she do? So she must take an aspirin. What's the matter with him? George has an earache.
Tanda tanya dong.
What must he do? So he must see a doctor. What's the matter with them? What's the matter with him? He has toothache. What must he do? So he must see a dentist. What's the matter with her? Jane has a stomachache. What must she do? She must drink some medicine.
Enggak ada negatifnya
What's
kok.
the matter
Berarti
with
yes,
him?
he, yes, she
Tom
does.
has
Kalau
a
saya ada negatifnya
temperature.
yes, he does. Yes,
What
or
must he do? So
he
he
does.
must go to bed. What's the matter with him? Frank has flu.
Ngerti nggak sih?
What must he
Ini
do?
ya.
So
Ini.
he must stay in bed.
Do
What's the matter with
grandma
him?
do some
He has measles.
and speak Arabic.
What must he do? So we must call the doctor. What's the matter with her? Susan has mumps. What must she do? So we must call the doctor. Lesson 63.
No,
How's
they
Jimmy
don't.
today? He's better, thank you, doctor.
They.
Can I see him, please, Mrs. Williams? Certainly, doctor. Come upstairs. You look very well, Jimmy. You are better now, but you mustn't get up yet. You must stay in bed for another 2 days. The boy mustn't go to school yet, Mrs. Williams, and he mustn't eat rich food. Has he a temperature, doctor? No, he hasn't. Must he stay in bed? Yes, he must remain in bed for another 2 days. He can get up for about 2 hours each day, but we must sleep very long. Where's Mr. Williams? Is he in bed? He's in bed, doctor. Can you see him, please? He has a bad cold too. Lesson 64. Don't take any aspirins. You mustn't drink this medicine. Don't call the doctor. Don't play with matches. You mustn't talk in the library. Don't make a noise. Don't drive so quickly. You mustn't lean out of the window. Don't break that vase. Lesson 65. What are you doing?
Yes,
What are you
ada
going to
negatif
do
yang
this
ada
evening,
dalamnya.
Betty? I'm going to make some pancakes. You mustn't come home late. You must be home at half past 10.
Yes, I do.
I
Ini
can't
lihat
get
nih.
home so early, Dad. Can I have the key
Nggak ada gas-gas.
to the door, please? No, you can't. Betty is 18 years old. Tom, she's not a baby. Give her the key. She always comes home early. Oh, that's all right. Here you are. But you mustn't come home after a quarter past 11. Do you
Does
hear
Sue
me?
have?
Yes, Dad. Thanks, Mom. That's all
Sue.
right, dear. Goodbye. Enjoy yourself. We must always enjoy ourselves, Mom. Bye-bye.
Oh. Ini